Hi and welcome back to my solo playthrough of Captain's Log, also using the so-called expert mode. In the meantime, I went to Essen. I brought back some really amazing games. And I think today's episode might be the last of this one. I'm relatively certain I will not play it to the bitter end, and I'm almost sure I will not win this game. But anyway, I still want to explore some more what the game has to offer, just to give you something. If you really are inclined to say, please Marcus, continue, play it to the bitter end, let me know. Send in your comments, send in your thumbs, and I will reconsider it. And if not, then that's totally fine too. I will then simply move on to something I brought back from Essen. And rest assured, this is also really cool stuff. But first things first, I believe we are moving into the next day, which also means we have to reveal our next event card. And here nothing specific happens. The wind doesn't change whatsoever. We can simply plan our turn. And again, the plan for this particular round was to collect our mission token here. Originally, I said I will treat it like a normal barrel, but I believe I really have to spend an action. So I'm really wasting a little bit of my time here, but it is what it is. The rules, again, are not super clear. They say sometimes you have to spend an action. It would say so, but I believe you still have to start this mission now. It is a face-up mission. I really don't know. I will not cheat here. I will simply move one space down. So again, wind and whatnot doesn't really matter in this point in time. So I'm moving one space forward, and then with my second, I will pick up this, I don't know. Yeah, this guy that fell overboard or so. I will place it on my card, I believe. Does it matter? I think the timer now has stopped to tick, actually. So, and this was already the entirety of my turn, actually. I moved one space and I picked up or started this mission here. So I think the Hulk Unknown with Monsieur Durand, he really helped me well. So unfortunately, I have to let him go because right now he still doesn't have any sort of destination. So we will immediately reveal a new one, but I believe these all will slide up basically. But in this case, we have the same thing here. They will both disappear next round. Good thing is we are still in the first sailing phase, so this now may appear whatever is on the other. I'm not even sure if there is always the same thing on the other side or so, but it will not reveal itself right away. But that's already the end of the turn done. We are moving into the night phase. So let's move into the next round, and we may be able... No, we are not going to make it here. And for no, this ship is gone actually, so maybe we can make it there actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yes, I think we should be okay. Actually, the hug was gone. That was really helpful in this case, because the way how the wind works, if we are now starting our movement, that's when you count the wind in this direction, we are getting a +1. We are losing a 2 because we are making a hard turn basically. Our base speed is 8. So that's 2, that's 6. +1, it's 7 because again of the wind, and we are losing 1 more speed because we are here. Again, I'm not sure if we should also see that, but I'm relatively certain we should see this in order to make it count. So I think right now it's still covered over, so we should be okay here. So that gives us 6 movement in total, and again this should be enough to make it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Amazing. With our very first action, we made it into the port, and with my second action, we are now going to interact with the port, so we can buy ship upgrades. Again, there is no tavern. I hate it. And we can sell some stuff, which would be cool. But let's take things in order. I think first of all, I want to complete my mission. So we deliver this poor soul here to a French harbor, which means we are gaining 1 reputation with that respective nation. So we simply assume that this was a French sailor or so who fell overboard. Cool. So that is that. We are gaining 3,000 doubloons and we are gaining a fame point. Awesome. So here is our reputation with the French. That is really, really nice. We are gaining 3,000 doubloons, and I still wasn't able to bring back or bring down my pirate money. I was using it actually for my recent playthrough of Merchants and Marauders, but here are 3,000 doubloons. But of course, we were able to collect yet another fame point. We hold on to this card because if we cash in 4 of these rescue cards, we will also score an additional fame points for those. So going after the same missions can be crucial here. I'm already kind of thinking about house ruling this. Wouldn't it be more fun to award you for different kind of missions? Not sure about this. What do you think? We are still in the port, so we are also going to sell this contraband here, so 2T I believe, which we can sell here because we are in a French town and the French really are wild about those contraband tea. Right now the price for tea is 1,000 each, so we are gaining 2,000 more, and now we are, or this special rule I mentioned earlier kicks in, where you are now putting basically illegal stuff into the lower. So I think in this case, instead of placing 1 marker in here, we are placing 1 marker in there. So the price now for buying this stuff has decreased a little bit, which is cool. So I think the empty one does count. These simply go back to the reserve. Unfortunately, I don't have any sugar, but I can sell pairs of wood for 2,000 doubloons each. And I think that's what I'm going to do. 1, 2, 3, and 4. They simply go back to the supply. They don't give me anything else reputation wise and whatnot. So we are simply collecting 2,000 more. But I believe this means we only have this one here, right? Yeah, we have still 5 in here. We can still throw stuff overboard, but I think right now I don't want to do this because I can still sell silver in a Spanish port, for example. But at least we went 1 down here, which I think is still a good thing to have. And we now at 12,000 doubloons in total. And in theory, we do have a ship we could afford with a brigantine here. It's super fast. I think 10 it can take. I think it has a higher defense, which is cool. It cannot take as much damage overall. The crew size is small, but I think that's also not the end of the world. But it gives us another victory point, right? So for every upgrade, you get another victory point, and you cannot directly jump from a level 1 to a level 3 ship, unfortunately. But I don't think I want the brigantine. I may want to hold it for this caravel over here. But in the meantime, we will definitely spend 2,000 doubloons to upgrade the remaining 2 of our cannons basically by 1 level. So now all of our cannons have a +1. Nice. I think I will also spend an additional 2,000 to increase our long range, so the range of our cannons. Right now we are still a level 1 ship, which means we have increased our range by 1. So we can now shoot at a ship 1 space further away without suffering any penalties. Remember the last video when I shot this, I think this desperation shot, which in the end, yeah, helped us quite a bit actually. We suffered, I think we had to really roll a 12. In this case, yeah, this penalty is going away. And the further we go, the more we get from the ship. And I believe this upgrades automatically when we go to the next level of the ship, or do we have to do the long range upgrade again? I think we have to do that still. That's at least how I want to play that. So we still have some money left, 8,000. And maybe one thing we may want to do is to upgrade our speed, our sails a little bit. Yeah, I think I want to do that. So we are spending 3,000 more to get our ship to basically a +1 here. We can only do that once, unfortunately, because our ship upgrade tells us, or ship card tells us that we can do that. But I still think that's absolutely worth it. That is cool. We could still go for some hammocks or so, but these are 2,000 and we could go for some rowboats. But I think for now, let's hold on to the remainder of these 5,000 doubloons here, because again, ultimately, I do want to buy another ship sooner or later. So we are no longer suffering from this penalty down here because of our sales. That is nice. We have upgraded cannons, also quite nice actually. But I think that's basically the end of the round. Unfortunately, again, we have no tavern. We can't pick up a new mission. That is really, really lame. But then again, I do see another upgrade here. This is basically the explosive shot, which counts for all our cannons, basically. Another +1, and I think I want to do that. Yeah, forget everything I just said. We are spending 4,000 more credits. Doubloons, sorry, we are not playing Star Wars here to go for these explosive shots or whatever those are. We place them into our first slot in here, I believe. Yeah, I think it goes in here. And we as of a level 2 ship, we can go into the next columns here. And if we do that 2 more times, then in this one, we will even gain a fame point. And we are never losing those special ship upgrades. And I asked that question, all the other upgrades that we're doing to our cannons and whatnot, we can still take over to our new ship there. That's really a big difference to Merchants and Marauders, where you can only do that in a special harbor. I really forgot which one it was. Then another cycle is over. Unfortunately, we still haven't discovered all of the tiles. So the British gain 1 reputation or fame. Fame in this case, I believe they lost 1 because we have sunken their ship. I think so. What's more annoying is that these fellas will basically be removed. And I keep forgetting actually, is it 3 for 1 or is it 2 for 1? Yeah, it's unfortunately 2 for 1. So these are basically gone and they're removed from the game for good. We didn't know what those are. They could come back, but therefore they will score an additional fame point here. And then, yeah, we are moving directly into the next day. Again, we are drawing our next event card. And this is a plague. And I think the nation with the most goods lose half of their legal goods and half of their contraband goods. I believe that's the case. Not sure why these flags are in here, but in this case, this has to be the English actually, because they have clearly the most goods. So 2 here. And I think also 2 here. I think it counts for the same market here. Or would it rep over to the... I don't really know. I don't really know. But yeah, really selling some more cotton to them could be worth it actually. This is where maybe getting a rowboat... No, I still can't trade with them, I believe. But I was a little bit getting ahead of myself, of course. Those 2 should have disappeared, actually. So La Trinité and the Satisfaction, they both didn't come out, actually. This one will make its appearance. It's the Sudden Death, John Verdrague, I believe. It appears on 14, and 14 isn't out as far as I can tell. Pretty sure it wasn't out before. So interesting. So we are placing yet another marker on there. I mean, I have an incentive to explore, because the other way they will all get those victory points, or the English will get the victory points. But we have to reveal our next 2 AIs, a Carrack here and a Hulk. We are still in level 1 though. So it's pretty big deck actually, so I'm not overly concerned right now, but this can change. I'm pretty sure when they move to 2 sails, these ships will be much tougher to deal with. And I also keep forgetting to move that fog here actually. I believe this was the first, this was the second, and honestly, I'm thinking about making it disappear once it's really going over the visible map or so. Yeah, let's see about that. But now it's our turn. We can turn for free because we are here on a mooring space. We get a +1 here. We get a +1 because of our captain ability, Jean-François de la Pérouse. We are not losing anything because we just upgraded our ship. So we have a total movement of 10. And I think 10 is pretty okay. And I think we should go back to this harbor here to collect another mission. I think we have to do that. So let's do that. So we will move in here. I know it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's totally free. We are doing this here, but I believe I'm not going to pick up this mission, or should I? Because right now my idea was really to flip over some more of these tiles. I need some targets on the board, right? But I think I can do that better. On the other hand, no, I think I will do the Discover. So we are flipping this one over. Unfortunately, it's the only one we are allowed to flip because again, here's an island in the way. But let's see what we get. Okay, it's the 17. Maybe this can help us to collect some barrels. We are in a day phase, so we are placing this on a 6. And we have a whale token. So if the white whale ever makes its appearance, I believe it will appear there. And yeah, there's even a treasure one. Basically, both of these could contain a treasure. So that would be too tough or too much of a guess, I believe. But that's again the end of my turn, I believe, right? I moved and I discovered. I could have moved further one step, actually. Maybe that's what I should have done. Maybe. Then I could have also flipped this one in one. If I would have moved in here instead to the mooring point. So that was that. End of turn. This ticks down. We will bring out the Carrack, which is another friendship, and that's a merchant. Merchant is okay. At some point in time, I could consider to shoot it, but again, right now my reputation is solid with them, and you need some reputation to take. I mean, I could always attack a ship and take it over. That's always allowed instead of buying it, but yeah, maybe it's still worth it. But anyway, is this on the board? Is the 10 out? I believe not, actually. No, also nothing happens here. So another timer goes in here, but we have another one out here yet. And here we have, ooh, what is that? What is that? I think that's the treasure fleet. Oh, a Spanish treasure fleet. It comes out on 1, and 1 indeed is here. But wow. Look at this. He's basically like a merchant. So it moves from 1 to 11 to 21, and then it's basically moving away. But if we take it on, we can collect this basically down here and an additional fame point. That is something to consider, but they will shoot back actually. So it's this ship, it will go onto this space. I believe I can choose the orientation if I so desire. And I think this should have also moved away right at the end. No, I think this fog will be gone and I will remove it. And it will immediately activate. It will move towards 11. But 11 is not out. So basically I have 3 turns to take it down and then it will start to disappear. So again, from 1 it will move. I think I should place one of these markers here. From 21 is out, and then from the 21 it will basically disappear, and they will move not to any mooring points, they will simply move to the numbered areas basically on that respective space. But okay, let's move into the night phase. This thing should rotate down. And what do I do now? I believe I could actually collect the barrel and deal with the market. And I think that's what I should be doing actually. I think so. Let's go to the Spanish tavern, right? So we are going to collect 1, 2, 3 of those quests. And here are my missions. This one is relatively easy, but it will take some time. I believe I have to be adjacent to a fortress. I think so. I'm pretty sure I will get a shot. Then I have to go to a village. Then I have to go to the whaling point, and then I have to go to a port. The problem right now is these two are extremely far. If I would be next to this one, I think I might pick it up. So I'm really inclined to go for this combat mission here, because there is a pirate out and maybe we will find him sooner or later. Oh yeah, let's go for this combat mission. Yeah, it's not the greatest one. I was hoping for more. So basically that's where these icons come into the picture, where you see these gallows. So that's basically my target, to sink this ship. And I think my upgrades and so on are quite okay right now. So yeah, let's go for this. Then it's time to sail, and I think we should make it to this space relatively easily. Yeah, I think so. Because I don't really have to make the math, right? I mean, we have more than enough. We are moving with the wind, so I think this should be okay. So I will pick up this barrel here. Let's see what it is. And we are gaining 2 crew. I think I cannot have more crew right now. So I think the access is basically lost right now. We still thematically we take them with us, but I don't know, we give them some, whatever, we are not leaving them here, that's for sure. But we are grabbing this token, which could be a third of a victory point, hooray. But again, that's the end of our turn. Done. These guys will all rotate. Unfortunately, this pirate is super easy. I really want to find island 14 now to bring him on the map. I want to take him out for sure. And then England will gain another victory point because we still have unexplored tiles out. So let's move into the next day phase. No barrels are rotating anymore. No, I don't think so. We are getting our next event, and this one is an ongoing event, so from now on all forts are heavier, so they roll one extra die. That's already pretty insane, and they have a +1 right now, and I think they already have a +1 because we're already on the first sailing level or so, at least I think. But I think this one says we have to draw an additional event, if I recall correctly. So let's see what it is. And I have no clue. And yeah, this is an assault. So the forts are changing. So we are rolling a d20. So we know the drill. And on a 9 to 12, this could become French. And then, yeah, this other event or this other mission could have been huge, of course. And this happens on tile 5. So let's see, and it's a 14, which makes it a pirate fort now. The pirates have taken over the club here. How lovely is that? Unfortunately, I think they will not fight us just yet, because the pirate fort will only shoot at us if our reputation is on a -2 with them, which can happen relatively easily. So once we have basically shot them several times, which is my plan, yeah, this fort will also go after us. Okay, that was cool. And this is what I really like about this game, these events, and there's really strong narrative behind it. So cool. But okay, time for some. I think this has now moved off, and I will remove it because it's hard to move them here on these foggy things. So the fog is gone. It wasn't fun anyway, right? So what are we going to do? We are discovering. We can discover this and we can discover that. I think it doesn't matter too much in which order we are doing this. So I will start with this one. Okay, we found another Spanish port where we can sell cargo. That is absolutely lovely. We are at day, which means this barrel goes onto this side, and it's number 7. No, nothing with number 7 is out right now. And we are also discovering this one here, and that's the 19, not the 14. I was really hoping for the 14. So we have another barrel here, another whaling space. Oh, we have another tavern here from the natives, basically. Okay, that could become really, really cool too, actually. Anything else here? No, I don't think so. Yeah, we will lose that pirate ship, I suppose. And then we can still move, right? That's the idea. So we can pick up things. So maybe I should bring myself into the position where I can explore a little bit more. Again, I still have 2 more actions. One more full movement action, basically. I will lose that pirate ship anyway, so I think it doesn't matter where I'm moving now. The question is, do I want this or that? I think we are going this way and really clean off that cycle over here. So we are turning basically for free because of the wind. We get a +2 plus the 1 from our captain because of our ship upgrades. We are not losing anything, so we have an awful lot of movement left, right? +3 in total. That's 11 movement points. Are you kidding me? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Awesome. Let's see what we get. Oh, that is 1 wood and 1 oil resource. Oil is cool because it's basically a wild card. We can sell that as any resource. That is cool. I believe I will not grab, this is the oil. I will not grab the wood because this would move me 1 space to the right. But I could sell it. I could still sell it as a pair. Yeah, let's do it. Come on, let's do it. Let's hold on to this. So this goes 1 down now, which I think is still okay. We are allowed to hold on to this, which is cool. Again, this is a wild card, which is super, super cool. And I think we still had some movement points left. but I was only going to move to this mooring point here so I can pick up another mission with my next turn. Unfortunately, this pirate will disappear, never to be seen again. Really, that would have been a very nice target, actually. They move up, they also rotate down. Yeah, I don't think I have a chance to grab this ship here. We are still in level 1 and we are still in level 1 afterwards. So another one of those will come out next. So we will wrap over here and then we are moving into the night. Let's visit the tavern here, and again we are drawing 1, 2 and 3 of these mission cards, and I believe we are allowed to have up to 3 active missions at any one time. And here are the 3 missions: another combat mission or another rescue mission. I think because I already have completed a rescue mission, I want a second rescue mission. This one we can basically do them in 2 ways. Either you go with I think another ship with this symbol here. Not sure how this works in solo mode, but I believe I can simply go to basically simply a ship of any one nation in the end. Then I have to roll a die and then I have to deliver them. They're basically to a different harbor pretty much. So I think, yeah, let's go for this rescue mission right now. I think, yeah, I could actually, because there is still 1 ship out. But yeah, let's discard those. And I think there's nothing else I want to do in this harbor. And it's really cool that there are these neutral harbors which allow you to always, I think I should have rotated this, which always allow you to somewhat deal with them, right? That's the idea. So with my second action, I will simply do a discover and flip this over. It was not the 14. Okay, so now I'm a little bit relieved. Oh, we have another 40 here. This can't be good, right? And also, I mean, let's bring out the barrel first. So that's a 5. That is a tough one. So I have to, what do I do, right? I will not place them as a pirate marker on there. That was my little, let's call it house rule. So again, we are rolling a die, I believe. That was how I dealt with it. So I'm rolling a 20-sided die, 1 to 5, 16 to 20, right? And that's the, it's a Spanish one. And I suppose this counts for both of them right now. I believe that makes sense, right? So this is now a Spanish port. I'm relatively certain that these do go together, right? Yeah, at least I will play it this way. So I think I'm not hostile with the Spanish, so I can sail past them, which I still think could make sense, right? Yeah, I think so. Oh, this ship will go away. The Grand François. Pity. This ship will also go away. It didn't move, right? The 11 didn't come out in the meantime. Oh, I should have paid attention. No, we are good. So this is simply gone. Also never to be seen again. I will also remove the miniature from the map. What a pity. This will appear now. It's the Flying Joan. John Chidley, sorry, goes to 14 again. 14, what? So I think there must be a pirate harbor or so nearby. So yeah, it's not out, still not out. So we are putting a marker on there and then we are placing a new one here. And guess what? We have finally made it into level 2 ships, a galleon. How lovely is that? But I believe, yeah, they are still, so we're moving in today. So they should rotate. I'm not sure, do you do that at the end or at the start? For me, it makes more sense to have them on the side on which I am, but could be playing this incorrectly. But anyway, they will collect yet another point because, yeah, we still have undiscovered tiles and there's still a lot of undiscovered tiles. That's a huge map, honestly. Wow. So, I think actually at this point in time, I will call it for this series here. Again, if you desperately want me to continue, I might do another video. I will leave this here for a day or 2 before I'm tearing everything apart, or basically putting it back into the box. Again, our friends only need right now 7 more points, which I think is 14 more turns if I don't discover all of these tiles. Sounds extremely long, but they could be other things because barrels could disappear and maybe another ship. And the main thing is that they are so much in the lead was in fact because of these 2 harbors, which were coming out right next to each other. So it was a very short trip for this merchant vessel. Yeah, they lost 1 point, but I'm pretty sure they have received 5 or 6 points from those alone, from this ship alone. So that was definitely, yeah, tough luck. I tried everything I could, but I'm also relatively certain at this point in time, I don't think that I'm going to make it anyway. But again, let me know if you desperately want me to continue. I will consider that. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed the series so far, or maybe overall. I really must say I absolutely like this game. There are a lot of moving pieces. I still think the rules are not there where they should be, but I think everything is quote unquote fixable. It simply needs maybe a little bit more examples or so. I know the rules would get even longer with more examples, but I think it's really a very cool pirate sandbox game. I really like this one a lot. And yeah, with that being said, hope to see you soon in one of my other videos. And yeah, until then, bye bye.